Hello, everybody. Nice to have you. Tanjamin How. Thank you. All right, so we are really making progress in the second section of the Young Family Long Form. We've been working on our strike tigers. We're going to review those today and then move on to turn body and right heel kick, which I think will be good for everyone today. If we can, we'll also spend some time looking at, I promised that we'd look today at different ways you can adjust footwork if you're having any difficulties in single whip with that 135-degree turn, or if you're having difficulties in the many other 135-degree turns. We were talking about chop with fist and also in these strike tigers. So we'll also be covering that today as well. So let's get started by practicing what we know of the second section. And we do this modified prepare. Take a moment. You are at the height you would be at with your knees bent at this point. Feet shoulder width apart. I want you to feel like your head is lifting up. I heard Davi the other day. He's another instructor in Young Family Tai Chi. And Davi said the other day, imagine that above your head, there was sort of a vacuum above your head. And it's kind of giving a very gentle pull up for you. And then feel your spine elongating, your body suspended, and your weight equally distributed everywhere on your feet. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Shifting right, turning, circling our arms, close step, and polish that table and strike. Roll back, press, push. Fist under elbow, like single whip, except our foot to the 12 o'clock, pushing out, then step to the corner, ward off to the corner, grab step, and pull down as you come back. Punch. Repulse monkey. 1, 2, swing step, pull strike. 3, diagonal flying, circling our arms, stepping, turning, throw that frisbee. Raise hands and step forward. Arms circle and turn that upper body. White crane, pulling down, circling our arms, step. 1 up, 1 down. Left brush knee, swing step, polish the table, strike. Needle to sea bottom. Changing our footwork and sink. Coming up, separating our arms, and turn body, chop with fist, turning right to the corner, coming back, 1 arm up, 1 arm down, chop, and strike. Let's move adjust our position as you might need to. I certainly do. Step up and parry, block, and punch. Step up in our Chengfu. We're going to shift our weight, grab, close, and into grasp the bird's tail, right ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Cloud hands. Shifting. And arms circling left. Coming back to center and to right. 2. 3. Stepping to the corner. Finishing and into single whip. I'm blanking on our name. And right separation kick. Circling our arms. Closing. Stand up. Look where we're kicking. Kick. Change arm and leg. Sink step. Circle our arms and separate. Shift. Close. Stand up. Look. Kick. And turn. Extend. Spin. And left heel kick. Descending, left brush knee and push. Swing step. Polish the table and strike. Right brush knee. Left arm up, arms at the center. And swing step. Polish the table and strike. Step up and punch down. Stand on that right leg, swing and punch as your left arm goes across. Adjusting our body and then turn body, chop with fist. That 135-degree turn, shifting back, 1 up, 1 down, chop, 30% and strike. Parry, block, and punch as before. And Chengfu, warding off to the left. Leave that left arm there, and we are going to step up and right heel kick. Going to do a left strike tiger. Step. Left arm comes over. Look away from your camera and circle those arms and strike with fists. Nice. Shifting back. Turning 135 degrees. Shift back. Arms at the side. Step. Right arm circling up. Left arm coming across and strike that tiger. All right. Let me get you folks on gallery mode so I can see you. So that's warm up. Sometimes it feels rocky, sometimes it feels good. How are we feeling today? Somewhere. All right. I try to be a little more, I've realized that oftentimes as you're getting better at this, you are not looking at me, which is terrific. And when that happens, it seems like if I give just a few more tips about where we are, then you won't find yourself being a lot faster, a lot slower. So I was trying to give a few more tips today about where we are. Is there anything that you particularly want to work on today? We are going to talk about those 135-degree turns a little bit more today and check in on that. And we will review the striped tigers. Anything else that anyone has on their list that we would like to throw into today's class?
Yeah, just when you're, I assume you're going to be running through the last few moves before the striped tiger, and so which include kicks. So just like the difference between the kicks.
Between like the separation kicks and the heel kicks?
During the actual kicking. Yeah. I mean,
okay.
There's a between them, and I don't know that I'm getting that.
There's a what between them? I didn't quite get it.
Like difference between, I know that the first one is like a toe with your, and then you come back and you kind of cover yourself a little bit with your foot down, and then the other was like a heel stompy thing, and then the last two are just a heel out. I just
they're a heel stomp. The last ones we've been doing are so there's only, so far we've only had two kinds of kicks.
Okay.
So the separation kicks are with the top of our foot. So we do say toe, just like sometimes you say it's a toe touch, but in our form, you're never touching with your toe. You're not even touching like that. You are touching, like when we do an empty step, we are really on that ball of the foot, that whole ball pad. So, but when we say this is a toe kick, we're obviously not using our toe. Toes would not last very long, right? We're using the top of our foot. So so that and that can be, Master Yang says that actually when you were using it, it could be, in any, I mean, he could go way up here, it could be anywhere that you're kicking, but it's this kind of a kick. All the heel kicks, the ones we call heel kicks, are that stomp kick. So if you think of stomping, but again, you could be stomping out this way. Okay, you could be stomping in a variety of directions. So we've only had those two. So it may be my languaging that has been, so we have right heel kicks, left heel kicks, various things like that. So yes, go ahead.
Sorry, so the stomps, the three stomps that we have here, are they any height? It's not a determined, it's not like you have to go downward.
So if you were going into competition, and a young family judge was judging you, then they would be judging you based on, in all of the kicks, based on the fact that they would like to have your thigh bone at least parallel to the floor. Like whether you're doing this, right? Or whether you're doing this, right? They want it at least there. It's nice if you have the capacity to get it higher, right? Some people have a lot of capacity to get higher and still have good form. You can watch Master Yang on the videos, because I give links to those in the emails that I send for that. I think that's a good way to do it. So does that answer your question on the kicks? Wonderful. Okay. All right. So, and Lisia's here, wonderful. So I promised Licia, and it's a good thing to have in this series, that we would go over some of the ways on those days or forever when you can't do, when you have trouble doing, getting that 135-degree turn. And depending on the surface you're on, depending on your own body, it can be very hard to turn to turn a foot in. I don't know how to do it. Let's see here, like this. Here we go. To turn a foot, to turn your hips this far. It can be quite challenging, and it can be a hip issue or it can be a knee issue. And as I thought more about it after last week, I remembered that for years and years and years, I couldn't do it. Then I got my knees replaced. I mean, my knees would not let me get close to that because I was very arthritic in my knees and doing a lot of Tai Chi. And nobody knew it, and I didn't really know it, and I didn't admit it. But they were really bad. So I just want to say, and so what I want to do is show you what Master Yang recommends on all of these turns, if you're having trouble doing it. Last time I gave tips for how you can maximize your chances of being able to do it. I'd be interested in seeing how that went if anyone had success with that. We had a little discussion on that last, so feel free to say, hey, that worked for me or didn't work for me yet or whatever. That's good. What I do want to do is show you what Master Yang recommends. I did this for years, and then I'm going to show you something else that you can do as well. And I'll explain why I don't know why Master Yang recommends what he recommends, but I know why I liked it better and why I did it. A lot of people don't take the time to learn it, and I thought we'd actually take the time to learn it today, because most everybody in the class at the moment can, for example, do kicks. They have the ability to do lots of other things. They don't have always the ability to do this. So I wanted to show that so that you have it when you're on some ground you can't do it, even if you can do it now, and if you're not. So what Master Yang recommends is this. Let's just imagine single whip, the footwork. So here's single whip, and what we're talking about is trying to get this turn, which not everybody can do. So the modification that Master Yang recommends, if you can't get it, is that you come back. I'm going to do it here, and then you pivot on both of the balls of your feet at the same time. So if you slow that down later on YouTube, you'll see it, but I'll try to do it. I don't know if I can do it slowly. So you're going to come back and you're going to start to turn, and then you're going to get conscious right about here where you get stuck of both of the balls of your feet. And then keep that Tai Chi pole really clear. And then you're just going to put both of them in that direction, in the direction that you're aiming towards. So in single whip, right, you know how we're coming back and we're grabbing and pulling and throwing somebody into the corner? Okay, right about here, you're going to be just thinking about both those balls of your feet, and then you continue that throw to the corner. You're able to do a powerful throw to the corner, and everything still works for you. All the timing still works. So if you are here and you come back, grab, pull, spin, then you're in all the right positions pretty much to do the rest of the movement. And I believe this is why he recommends that we do it that way. So, so let's practice that a bit. Just that turn, let's practice that. And then, you know what? Let's practice it on turn body chop with fist. Because if you can do this, this is preferable. And it's preferable because the other option, which is sort of whatever way you can, but usually putting a step in the middle, and I can show that to you at some point, will sort of mess up your timing of shifting or mess up the timing of your arms. But this little pivot doesn't. It's a small cheat that allows you, if you were in a real situation, it's not giving up much, right? It's not giving up much. It's just, you're just pivoting at one moment. Someone might be able to take your balance a little bit more, but you're not giving up as much as you would be giving up by some of the other changes. Michael.
I see what you're saying, but normally when you're coming around and you're trying to bring your right foot to 45, isn't your left foot still facing?
Yes.
Straight.
So this is the difference. You're absolutely right. The one thing you are giving up is this uncomfortable position, right?
Right.
That you hold briefly, and yes, you're here, but you're not terribly stable. Let's admit it. Like somebody, this is not like a bow step, right? This is not a great. You are in transition. So, and then what's the very next thing you do? You're going to release this, and look,
right.
You're right there. So this is what Master Yang recommends. He has never explained it, but I did it for years, and I went up and was judged and promoted, and it was never. I mean, I mentioned that I did it on my application, but there was never any issue with doing it that way.
What I have a tendency to do is when I come around. So I'm coming around, and what I do is I go ahead and just bring my foot as much as possible. And when I get to here, I just step back on my heel a little bit and just bring my foot around.
Got it. So you're pivoting on your heel.
Just on one foot.
Right. You're pivoting on that foot. And
which brings you back to 45.
Right. Master Yang, for whatever reason, would prefer that you pivot on the ball.
Okay.
Okay. And you just be beginning that pivot first. I haven't thought about that a lot. If it's working for you, this is the other thing. Whatever works for you and allows you to be smooth and balanced and safe, this is what we want, right? If you can get as close to the real form as you can, that's even better. But Michael, if you're doing it that way, I don't expect that that's an issue.
Well, I can see what you're saying about stability, though. When you bring both foot back over the same direction, you're much more stable than being one this way and one this way.
Although normally, when you would be doing it, I mean, right? When we're doing it, normally, there is that, it's a very brief moment.
Right.
There is that moment when you're in that position. And it is a moment when, if you're coming up like this, you can release it, So you kind of lose that ability of picking your moment for when you're releasing it. But
I'll try it your way with the way Mr. Kim shows it too.
Yeah. So Young June would have us do that. So let's just let's do it from here. And if you want to use your arms, use your arms. If you just want to use your feet, use your feet. single whip. So we're gonna pivot and then just come back and finish single whip. So let's do that again. And shifting back, pivoting on both feet, shifting back, and step, shift weight. And again, shifting back, turning, oops, pivot, sorry, I forgot to pivot, and shifting back. And one more time. Let's see if I can do it without the arms. So how is that? Leisha, how is that working for you? Is it working at all?
It works. But it has really to be in the moment we are going and using this movement to move the feet together with the body.
To the feet together, yes.
Yeah.
Both feet together, exactly. Let's do it.
But it's
Two
still
more.
when you are moving your body.
I'm sorry?
But
Say it again.
you move both feet, still when you are moving your upper body. You are still on the
Yes.
movement. And then
Yes.
you move
Yes.
everything.
And what is nice is there's a very small change. It's a very small change, whereas many of the other recommendations are bigger changes. So I like this one, and Master Yang recommends it. So so let's do it a couple more times, and then we're going to try it on the other side, because guess what? We have to do turn body chop with fist and from left strike tiger to right, right? So just the footwork, we're coming back, coming around, both pivot, come back, step in, step out into your bow step. And then with the arms, as Leisha says, we're coming back, hands flatten, grab, pull, throwing in the corner. And as you're finishing that throw, you spun a bit on your on the balls of your feet. Then you come back, and it's just as it is in how we're taught. So from here now, from here where we've done, I have such a problem naming these things. Anyway, everybody knows, right? This is like single whip, but not. All right, so we're going to be shifting back, turning, but right here, you're just going to be aware of the balls of your feet and spin so that both feet are pointing in the same direction. What's nice about this is you're not changing your weight distribution. So you come back, step out, all right, so let's try that again. We can do it without the arms. Coming back, turn, 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 turn. Now get on the balls of your feet and finish the turns to the corner. Your weight is still more on the front foot. Shift back, just like you did in single whip. Bring the right foot to neutral. Step out, root, heel, ball, toe, bend knee. And then with the arms or without. Coming back, turning, pivot. Now, as you come back, you can make your fist. One up, one down, chop, and strike. Let's do it one more time. Shifting back, turn, pivot, come back, make your fist, chop, strike. How's this feeling on the other side? It's the same thing. It's just probably, it's all not practiced very much. Leisha, do you think this is going to work? Yes. Yay. Yay. Okay. It takes practice. Okay, now we're going to do it from left strike tiger into right strike tiger. So we learned this last week, and we can go over strike tigers in a second, but let's just try it. It's the exact same thing. So from here, just a minute, I want to see what we're wind gusting to. Not too bad. Sure looks bad. All right. So from here, we're shifting back. We're turning. Again, you get to where that left foot's like at 12 o'clock. Feel the balls of your feet and turn. Your weight is still forward. Shifting back. Left arm coming down, both arms open, step look. Right arm circling down as you go forward, left arm turning, coming across, making those fists and closing with that pole. From left strike tiger to right strike tiger using the modified footwork. Shift back. Turn to the right. Get on the balls of your feet. Sort of spin to the corner. Weight is still mostly forward. Shifting back. Arms dropping and opening. Step look. Right arm down and then up, left arm coming across. Make those fists punch. How's that? 2 thumbs up. That's great. All right. You know, there are places in the 3rd section where, and well, this just recurs so many places. I was thinking about it and I was like, which am I going to teach folks? And this is what Master Yang recommends. This is what I did for years. And the other thing about doing it this way, if you can, not everybody can, if you can, is the transition between this and the real way of doing it is a piece of cake, because everything else is the same, right? Almost everything is the same. So someday you just may find yourself going, oh my gosh, I got my foot all the way around, you know? So it may be like that. All right. So let's go through the strike tigers just a bit to review them. Is there anything, let's see, is there anything you want to review before the strike tigers? Besides we did the kicks. All right, let's just, yeah, Michael.
Repulse monkey to diagonal fly. I'm still having problems with my feet.
Ah, well, let's see if we can do that there. I don't know if we can do that there. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. So repulse monkey to diagonal flying, we are like this. So just give me a moment and see what we can do. You know what I'm going to suggest? You know, you still have to spin on your heel. And I suppose you could turn your toe at the same time. I'm going to look that up for you and we'll talk about that next time. How about that? Because I don't want to say something that this is just like last time. I want to look at all the options that I've seen for how to do that and give you my very best recommendation. Do understand, I just want to say something about this other footwork. There are people who do lovely Tai Chi. And, you know, they do their kicks like this, which is just fine, or like this. And if it's just fine. And I have even seen in demonstration for a competition, I have seen this amazing woman who did her Tai Chi like this, you know, always coming to center. Did you see my foot come to center and just have a tap? Because of her age and her stability needed to do that. So I want to empower everybody that you can always bring a foot to the center. It's called a tap step. Master Yang also recommends the inclusion of a tap step if you ever have a problem. The problem is sometimes your center means you shift weight back when your weight needs to stay forward. So you're kind of like in the middle of doing something and you know, you have to go back forward to get back to where you need to be in order to execute the rest of the move. But I have seen people be able to do it. So that's another option. If you can't do what we were all able to do today. So the ideal is you do it like Master Yang does it, but none of us reach that ideal. The next is you take his recommendation and you go on the balls of your feet. The next is whatever adjustments you have to make. Oftentimes those adjustments are coming, are taking this extra little step into the center. So I can give you examples of where you can see that on a video if you're interested. Okay, and I will address your issue, Michael. I have not forgotten it about diagonal flying, because that does occur other times. And we're going to need it when we get to section 3, because there's another example of that happens then. All right. Next on our list, let's just go through real quickly to make sure. I want to hear any uncertainties you have about this sequence of moves. Okay, so let's start from here. Yeah, let's start from here. So we're in a left bow step, and we have just punched at the end of parry, block, and punch. So we're gonna step back and do Chengfu, like warding off with our left hand. Only we are going to leave that left hand there in that left ward off, open our right hand as we shift, bring it under and up, and do this right heel kick, this stomp kick, and come in. Then we sink down, gonna shift our weight onto that right foot, which is parallel to the left foot, swing across, step, look into a bow step. Our weight is still primarily on the right foot. We've only rooted. So to get into this bow step fully, we're gonna be moving forward as we execute our left strike tiger. Check yourself. Do you have a good bow step? Check yourself. Are your shoulders down? Check yourself. Is your pole straight? Comment on pole straight. I was taught, and I have been taught again and again and again, and Master Yang says in his video, keep that pole straight. If you watch videos, Master Yang, sometimes the pole is straight to, you know, but it's not quite straight, you see? Because he's not quite straight, right? Do you see this? See how I could be straight up and down? So you could hold the pole straight this way, but it does lean. You asked about this last week, Erlyn, and I looked at the tape again. And indeed, Master Yang looks like there is a bit of a tip in that pole, maybe the camera angle. What I think he really means, I wouldn't worry about it. I do what comes naturally to you, but make sure you're holding one pole. Literally, take your broom, and do this with a broom, right? Hold it at the top, hold it at the bottom, and see how things go, right? And where do you feel powerful and strong? When I do it, it is tipped a little bit because I'm tipped a little bit. You are, if you think about doing this, you are not as set forward as you might be ordinarily. You're not quite as set forward if you were really doing it, you know, it's, so yeah, you've gotten a pole. There you go. You need a longer pole. That's what you need. Remember, I'm going to remind everybody, this arm is down here. This arm is up like it was like a white crane arm. Okay? So it's out from your body, good body shape. All right, let's try it again. From here, shifting back and out, circling, standing, that right heel kick, sinking down, stepping, the feet are parallel here. My gaze shifts now. I've rooted with my left foot, but I haven't shifted my weight yet. Gradually shifting that weight. Notice my right arm is turning, making the fists now at the end. Moving on. Shifting back. However you're going to make this turn, turn to the corner. Coming back, arms coming down and open, step look. Right arm swinging down and around, left arm turning, making our fists and punching. Right. So we're gonna do it one more time and practice those. See if you can make a good bow step there. Okay. From actually, let's just do the second one. So we're here. We're in a left bow step. That allows us to practice the turn as well. Might as well practice that turn on your whichever turn you want, the turn on your balls of your feet or the turn without it. We're going to shift back, turn, 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 turn to the corner. Come back, shift back, hands open, step. Circling our arms, make our fists, and complete. All right. Any questions? All right, let me show you the next bit. So I'm going to show you from here. From here. So what we're going to do is turn our body and make a left heel, right heel kick, I think. Yeah. So. We're going to open our body to the corner, bring our arms and foot across, and kick. In slow motion. See, we're here, right? I'm going to turn my whole body, my chest, and all the way down to my foot. I'm going to pivot on my heel of my left foot. My major weight is going to be a little further forward in the right foot. I'm going to shift my weight a little further forward to the right foot and open my body to the corner. Notice that when I did, not a lot changed. This hand came up a little, this hand came down a little, just a little bit, but I'm pretty stable right here. And my eyes just move with me. I keep going. Now I'm going to shift. And as I do, the left arm's going to go up and the right arm is going to circle as if it was coming out of cross hands. Got it? Right arm circles as if it was coming out of cross hands, but it's a fist. The left arm is going to get into cross hands position and stay there, that left ward off. So we're going to shift our weight. And then we're going to actually come up. See, I'm pushing with my back foot. Come up, stand up. I'm falling backwards. I don't know why, because I'm looking at myself on the camera, I think. And kick. Not so hard. All right, so let's look at the footwork. See how we can make it work. I'm going to do it this way. So from here, is that right? Okay, from here, just looking at the footwork, we're going to turn our body and our foot. Let's just do that part for a minute. Okay, going to move our weight a little further forward on that right foot, feel really solid on it. And then turn our hips and our foot. Then shift our weight and bring this foot in. Then get onto the toe, stand up, heel out, kick, heel in, back, bring your foot back in. Now I couldn't see you do it, but let's, yeah, Erlyn.
Okay, so when you let's see, you're like this, and then when you turn your body, in order not to get this knee out of line with the toe, you're still kind of like are you still kind of like, you're still like towards the corner until you really get a little weight on the front foot? Because otherwise it seems my knee wants to move out of alignment with my toe. If I don't open my hips and then keep my chest not
You
turned.
absolutely have to, you're opening your hips very far. So I'm going to just show you from here. This is a very good comment. Thank you. So what I hear you saying, Erlyn, is there's a tendency to want to do that,
Yes.
but you can't really see it, right? Yeah,
No.
I guess you can. And no, keep your weight on, remember the bubbling well, which we talk about a lot. I mean, it's a particular point in your foot, but what we want, if the center of the weight is in that point in the foot, it's equally, you'll feel it equally on the whole foot. And I want you to keep that feeling. And you've got to really open here in order to do it. If you can't get open far, so, I mean, my knee, the other thing you can do is drop. You're always supposed to kind of do this. Drop your back a little bit so it's straight up and down. So you don't want to be like this, right? You want to be like this at this moment. And that will help you also do it. And yes, keep them both. Don't be like this. Be like this. Then this foot comes in. Then you move over, stand up, kick, and in. Okay? Looking at our hands, we were here. We were here. So we were actually, here or whatever. So what's going to happen is we're going to do that turn, and things are going to move a little bit, but not much. And then as we go to the, as we start to really move, this one's going to go up. I want you to think about connecting with somebody here and deflecting them, but you're only going to need to deflect them this far. So you're going to end up in this kind of position. So this arm is not doing a whole lot. It was down here and it ends up here. Okay. But there will be a moment when you feel, so you were here, and as you turn, this will come up a little bit as you turn, and this one will come down a little bit. It kind of like this, with sort of be facing out. And then this one will feel like it's going up, and this one will feel like you are, that rotation you make around, you keep your elbow down. We've talked about that, like this. It's going to come down like this. So from here, you're going to turn. This will happen a little bit. And then this one feels up. This one feels down. And then this one's already up. So all that happens is you turn and bring them together. Okay? It's your right arm, which is up first and which is doing the crossing. Yes.
Okay, so tell me, so there's a certain point in the movement when your left is coming up and your right is coming down, where your elbows kind of get set, and then movement is not including the elbow, and the movement is just, so your elbows kind of reach a point where they're kind of like where they're going to be, and then the motion is the.
Yeah, I'll try to, it's hard to do it like when I'm not doing it. So here, there's very little movement. Some people talk about not moving any, but almost everybody does. When you turn, there's sort of naturally, you see how my shoulders are just coming into a more comfortable position. That's really all that's happening. Then here, there's a big move. I'm moving, shifting my weight here, and I've got my weight on my heel of this foot. I shift it to the heel. And then what's happening here is this arm goes down, and then it tries to keep that elbow down as it turns, like we had before, right? So here, here. So my other arm is coming up some. Then from here, I'm really just putting my whole foot down, shifting onto my ball of my foot. Coming up, you see, it's interesting. This is a really important point. I am now in cross hands here. I mean, you know, we're a double ward off, a double ward. I'm still rooted back here, back with my back foot. Then when I've got this fully, I can come up, open, kick. Right, let's try it. We're going to try it from here. I know you're not going to be able to see it as well. From here, your right arm is up, your right foot is forward. And open your body to the corner and your foot. Foot should be pointed towards corner over there, right? And this is that part way. Up, kick, down. Let's do it more smoothly. I was not very good at that. From here. And open the foot and the body to the corner, shifting your weight to the left, circling your arm, pushing from the ball of the foot. Arms are now crossed. Stand up and kick. What's happening with our gaze? Gaze just following the body as it opens to the corner. As it keeps turning, then it sees that moment when your arms are crossed. And now it's gotta look where you're kicking. You're kicking towards 12 o'clock. Let's do the whole sequence of them, and we will review this again next week. We're coming towards the end of class. We did a lot today. So let's see, in order to end up there, which I want to be, I have to end up here. So I think we start here. Let's just start from where we've been starting. So we're going to start from punch. From punching, and we're going to come back and ward off and do our right heel kick. And then come down, stepping parallel, arm across, look, step, circling, making our fists, striking that tiger, coming back, turning to that corner, coming back, arms falling down, coming down, step, look, strike that tiger, open to the corner, and circle that arm, shift your weight, come up, open your hands as you before you kick, as you kick. We are just about at end of time. I was like, wouldn't we love to have 5 more minutes, but we don't. Any questions? We have time for a question. All right. Next week, we will review this move and we will go on to twin fist strike opponent's ears. So it's actually their temples, but we'll keep it that way. So let's close class. Thanks, everybody worked really hard today. Dongjimin Zaichen. Thank you very much.